Really interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, really interesting how he considered the fold so heavily because people just under bluff in these $400 tournaments. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, what are his bluffs? You know, like if we really think about it, like sure, ace high, like ace high has some showdown value if you had ace five, and when he raises the turn with maybe some backdoor diamond draw or something like that, he actually gets called. And on this kind of board, like what hands do you have that you're folding?
And it's gonna have some misdraws and things too. So I think calling is the only option myself. Let's see if Boogaloo got away from it. Ooh, call is 6.
So this is close between call.
Really interesting. So call is 6, raise is 7,500 is 10 points. And I'm going to say he said that because this is a very bad player. And so he thinks the very bad player is going to stack off here with worse queens a lot. I'm going to guarantee that's what he's going to say. Very interesting, though. I thought call for sure was the right answer. I never am in this spot. I don't know. Interesting spot, too. I think this is a little bit of a lesson for everyone out there, too. A lot of times, the hands we want to float with, like this one, are better as raises. So this kind of falls in that category.
Yeah, and he was kind of an echo chamber for us there, saying, you know, we just get better hands to call and worse to fold.
Yep.
Like he's going to have some gut shots in his range. He's going to have spade draw. He's going to have king X. And we kind of, I mean, we kind of identify kind of what cards are going to be bad for us on future streets, and we're aware how to proceed on those cards.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's a very good point, man. You right.
That was the best. You didn't say anything. You won. Just straight up.
You won. I'm just spewing.
All right, so ooh, look at this. You're not opening this. You just looked at this. You're not opening.
Button cut off, hijack, low jack, under the gun one. You are right.
Come on now. Okay. I am. So let's see if he.
He's got to open it, or there wouldn't be a hand.
It would
I'm
be a
already
quiz.
down on points.
You're already down on points in real life. Now, obviously, you're gonna cheat, but
I'm gonna evolve.
you're gonna adapt, right?
All right, let's play it.
I'm going to cry if he says he's folding here. Like, if he's like, yeah, you should be folding this in this kind of tournament, and you were actually right. All right, cool.
Wah, wah.
Like a spot where we have
Ah!
standard,
Yes.
and the reason is because queen.
I just want to say for the record that this is the best 3-point score I've ever gotten in my life. Because the right answer was fold.
Right? But you heard what he said about the tables. This is a 3K.
Here comes the excuses. 10
The
points
excuses
fold.
to
It says
open,
right
if your
here.
table is particularly tight and weak, welcome to the $5 2K world. I mean, the $11 10K. I'm opening this, yeah, for sure.
This is the best 3 points of my life.
That's hilarious. And everybody's
Nailed it. What the hell kind of play is that from King Queen? Who does that?
Who the hell? Yeah, so Mad Dog.
Jonathan Little's an absolute crusher, so it's nice to have him.
Yeah, I agree, and I
He's
always
just
love
coaching.
playing right after sessions like this because I feel like my brain's warmed up. I'm thinking through things, and so it's a good way to start your session for sure.
But, all right, guys, this is it.
What's up, Mike? You want to give a gist? He was saying Narco Cop was playing about depipping about 28% of hands. He had been very aggressive in this $10 buy-in, and here are the options to fold, to call, to raise to 1,200, raise to... What? Wait a minute, he made it 800, and my man's giving options to 12 and 1,400 ounces. So it's already getting kind of spicy. That's so nasty. To be on the site with these other crushers, well-known poker public figures is pretty exciting, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I didn't mention that when I was kind of giving a little intro here too. Assassinato, Matt Affleck, John Little, all coaches on the site, so very highly respectable, quality poker content.
Yep, Evan Jarvis as well. Member Evan Jarvis, Matt Affleck, Assassinato, John Little.
Yeah, so I guess that just makes sense. He could just have the ace of clubs in his hand. That's interesting, though. I
How
thought
many
that was
points you got?
interesting.
You didn't do that bad. 45.
I like how you just pat me on the back. You didn't do that bad. Well, yeah, good job, buddy. Like,
The back.
I remember I got the higher score in the first one. So, you know, we're 1 for 1, buddy.
I just want to know.
Calling, guys. Let's see if we're good.
Similar situation. That's pre-flop? I think pre.
All right, guys, we're checking, I guess. Oh, for fuck's sake.
When you're facing a min raise or just a touch more than a min raise, and there's an ante in play, which is going to be the case in most tournaments, I think, going forward, you want to defend pretty wide. If your opponent's making a 2.
All right, cool. You're going 1400.
I'm going 1400, guys.
I'm gonna go call with the arm and just see what happens.
All right, and
I would fold in game though, for the record, in case that's the winning end.
You won. You win. I have to concede. You win.
14K.
14K, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Well, no, we cannot win. This is a pretty rough spot because damn it.
Mm-hmm. Where do you gonna get my chat? They like naughty things. They like just beer, alcohol, you know.
All right, let's do I can do a $10 ACR giveaway.
A $10 ACR giveaway courtesy of my man Toe. For me beating that ass heads up in this. Sorry. No, I'm kidding. We'll do this. We'll have to do it at least once a week, man. And then, you know, we'll do it. We'll do it every week a couple times.
So it's a tie.
I guess we got to give out $10 to each other's communities. We'll just do our own $10 free roll for each. Or does that sound fair?
Yes. Do you know what this means?
You win. I give his chat $10. Take it. You
So that's
filthy
cool because we have
animal.
2 ties and then a win from you and a win from me. This is like the epic battle. It's perfect. It's great.
Yeah, we're even Stevens.
This is awesome.
Take it.
I love it.
You know.
Stop. We got a giveaway going. Let's run the giveaway for the $10 ACR winner. Closing the giveaway. Drawing the winner. My man Sebs are getting the $10 ACR giveaway for this one.
I'm in there. Yeah, we got you on my stream. Yeah. Yeah, because they were saying on mine, so I can hear you fine. What's up, everybody?
Pretend I just did an intro.
Yeah, just.
That's that red tape I was talking about, Jared.
Nah, take your time, fix it. What's up, everybody? Station's favorite
while we're waiting for Jared, you know what's up? Oh, we got both. Yeah,
So we
Jared
got the
and
Jareds.
Jared. We got the
Jared,
Jared.
the Jared squared.
And we got Toe. While we're waiting for Toe.
Weird. Got to give me 1 sec, man. Sorry, I can either have my headphones in right now or my mic, and not both.
Next year, he's like, yeah, let's do it again. And these guys go get second, which was sick as hell. So, yeah, man. Did you want to say anything, Jason?
No, man. I'm just happy to be here.
I don't know. Now it looks like I can either have mic. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I can either have mic and no headphones and no audio with the desktop stuff, or I can have no mic and hear you guys fine. So right now, I don't think my audience can hear you. I don't know what happened. Like it literally, no, I don't think so. But it's me. It's not you. It's definitely 100% me. I'm turning everything up. Yeah, I'll be ready in 2 seconds, I think. It's weird. My audience can hear me now and not hear you because it's never done this before. It literally has never done this before.
Online until a couple weeks ago when Venetian started this series. It was the first time that it was like the first time that I felt like a room was doing stuff, I guess, safe enough to go play. And like I play some live cash, but it's not really that big a deal for me to go play live cash and everything.
Right.
I mean, and so yeah, I went out there because they like Venetian, like I said, they're doing it pretty right. They've got big like thermal scanners at the door, so
Oh, wow.
so like if people look like they're hot on the thermal scanner, they'll like stop them and take their temperature and stuff. Like won't let them in if it's over like 99. Obviously they really enforce the like masks worn correctly at the table. They got the plexiglass dividers and stuff. They're like making people hand sanitize before they come back to the table. So I mean, it's as safe as you can be right now.
Right.
So I like that a lot and everything. But yeah, it's been pretty fun getting back into it. Man, there's such a demand. Like I said, I think this $400 100K is gonna have it's gonna have close to, if not over, $500,000 in the
Oh
prize
my
pool. So
goodness.
unfortunately, I couldn't find a bag before today, and I think I'm just gonna skip it because there's gonna be hundreds of people on the alternate list today.
Today's the last day. How many flights did they have for that?
They had 4 flights. They started
just
at
4 flights.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Okay.
I played all 3 of the other ones and just couldn't get it done. You know how it is sometimes when you're one tabling. It's it can be that way.
Yeah, of course.
For some reason, like one tabling live, I got my shit fixed by the way. But
Nice.
for some reason, one tabling live doesn't seem to bore me. But one tabling online is like my worst nightmare ever.
Yeah.
Especially on stream.
Oh, it's pretty brutal on stream, especially if you're mid. You almost have to kill the stream if it's earlier. It's like this has to be.
My audience knows, like I do that sometimes. I just like if I have 2 tables going and one's about to die, I just stop showing the other one and then say goodnight. And then I have a terrible history of shipping the one off stream, and I have a couple global trophies, and 2 of them are off stream, or 3 of them are off stream, and then I have 3 second places on stream. I don't know what it is.
That's funny.
But
All right, now that we're here, you want to start at least the giveaway, give people a chance to get in before we pick the first quiz. Explanation point. Just poker coaching in the chat if you would like to get in this first round of the heads up competition.
no.
What we'll do
no
if you're new
exclamation point?
here, no explanation point for me at least. Poker coaching in the chat. If you are picked, you will have an opportunity. If you get picked for my chat to compete against those chat, where you'll guess the outcome of these quizzes. Whoever gets the higher score wins $5. So yeah, we'll do that and give you guys a minute, and we'll pick a quiz. Jsmith, you're the guest. Would you like to pick one first, man? Anything?
Sure. What do I?
Did I send you I don't think I sent you the goddamn login.
Oh yeah. We need to What you need
Well,
to.
I could just guess.
That one. Yeah.
that one.
That one.
I cursed us, guys.
That's Aces
I was
with
talking
James
about,
Romero. Let's do that one.
How much of a professional I was right before we came off mute, and then
Accurate
just fucked everything up.
diagnosis of situations in the given quizzes.
All right, I'm gonna send you the login on Twitter there.
Oh, I didn't know he didn't have a login. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I suck.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just kicking it, y'all.
Just
I'm
chill, man.
I'm just here for the ride, man.
There you go, buddy.
It's all good, man.
I'm having some coffee.
Yeah, I should have got that.
So while he's doing that, we'll pick a stream. Which one did you pick? You picked Faraz, I'm imagining.
No, actually, I picked this James Romero, or I'm sorry, Jay Smith. Randomly picked this James Romero Pocket Aces in the 10K UK main.
So for the guys in my stream, exclamation point PC in my chat, exclamation point PC in Six's chat. Sorry, I had a bunch of mute fails. My system randomly wanted to use my microphone as my speaker, and so we figured it out. PokerCoaching.com stream, Jonathan Little site, bunch of coaches. Check it out. You can sign up for free, 20 free quizzes, homework assignments, big blind charts for 100 or more. If you sign up for premium, then there's over 1,000 quizzes now, homeworks up the wazoo, webinars every week, all that good stuff. PC in my chat, PC in Six's chat, you get a link to sign up for free. Like Six has said, we are getting you guys compete. You good?
You want to try that again? That
Didn't work?
they didn't like that one.
What? That's the one I've been copying and pasting to everybody. Cool.
This is the stream of technical difficulties. I come on and everything just goes to.
Yeah.
I just light this shit.
You
The
light
good
this
thing
shit on
is
fire.
that we have a long time audience that just knows. Put up.
They know it's good.
They
Yeah.
love us anyway.
They love us despite our flaws. maybe
True.
Trying to find it. Where's like the Greg Raymer one? Do you have it handy, Sixes? While I'm scrolling through.
Oh my goodness, no! I never.
I
never give that thing out.
Not even remotely.
I don't.
I do.
Yeah. Usually you've been giving it to the guests, but it's all good.
All right, let's try this. Hang on.
No. First question will be: what percentage of hands the EP opponent should be calling our 3-bet from the small blind with? Yes, he does kind of phrase a lot of questions like that. Station's favor.
It looks the same, doesn't it?
He's done that. He does that every single time. It feels like.
It looks the same to me. I'll try copy pasting it again. You know how it be sometimes.
You know how it be.
You don't know if there's like a space in there or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say no. There's no space, but
530.
no, it definitely doesn't like that.
That's the one I sent to. Let me make sure here. PCP Ghost. Yep. That's weird because like that's the one I sent.
Ooh, Vim, thank you for that follow. We are 5 follows away from 6K.
You got the DMs on stream, by the way. There, Toe.
Toe is struggling today.
I have too many monitors going.
This man is having a
Did it just have the login right up there?
Holy shit. Let me watch this meltdown.
Jason Leva, we're going to have to change that password.
Sit back and relax until meltdown.
Everybody just log in. Was it on? Was it on? The login was right there on
This
screen.
shit's about to become
Don't
a
worry.
meme.
Don't worry,
It's about to
guys.
be a meme
Don't
after-
worry, guys. The password doesn't work.
Yeah, it's true. Joke's on you, suckers. I can't find it.
They're about to join our Zoom call. Now.
I know.
It's a good thing I didn't bring up the monitor with the porn.
But that might be better.
I think you can see your message, J-Set. J-Smith. J-Set said, what's up?
What's up, J-Set? I did J-Set dirty. I did J-Set dirty on in that live tournament the other day.
Ooh, that's always better.
It was real nasty.
Oh, I got it.
You got what's wrong? You figured it out?
Yeah. Now I just got to figure out how to set it to you and not everybody in the world. Hang on.
just me. All right.
Jeez.
We got it at so we got it. I had Queen Jack of Hearts, and he had sevens on like King 7 4 2 hearts, and it went turn like 10 of diamonds, river 9 of diamonds, and neither one of us or the dealer saw the straight come in. So she counted his chips, pulled it out of my stack, and was like pushing it to him, and everybody else at the table was like, nah, nah, y'all. Like that ain't it. Like, yeah, he's got a straight. It was just like, oh shit, I did have a straight.
Did you see the password
All
in
right.
the Zoom chat?
I'm in here.
Cool.
I'm in here.
Quiz. Click on quizzes and then quiz 106 or 1006.
Okay, quizzes.
All right, let's pull a name as well.
All right, cool. Pulling away. I think we got it together.
1006.
Rolling it for my stream. It is 419 DMC.
It is Ohio's finest
No
journey.
longer the newest member of Team Toe.
There it is.
You now have seniority, buddy. How's it feel?
Casper says he's here for some Among Us tips. All right, here's your tip. Go listen to whatever Potter says. Gone Bananas is the Among Us king. All right, y'all. I'm in here.
All right,
Cool.
1006. Let's do it.
You ready to go? All right, we'll play the stream. Let's go. Or play the quiz. Let's go.
We're at 2.1 million ships.
Whoa, that's low.
Hijack plus.
What the hell? Why is it so low?
Quick comment here. I have a lot of students that are flatting pre-flop races with aces. It's not good. We have
I can't even hear it. Hold on, guys.
Yeah, I actually think it's Zoom fucking with us right now. Because that's
Yeah, something's going on with Zoom. Like, I literally can't hear it. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I don't think my stream can hear it very much either. Hang on.
Should we check?
Hang on. At this point, I do blame Jsmith. We didn't have any of these problems.
We're at 2.1 million ships now. Hijack plus.
It is. Like, I think it's low. It's super low. Like, all my volumes are maxed out. I think it's just his kind of.
That are flatting pre-flop races with aces. It's not good. We have,
All right, cool.
It's freaking out.
You guys get through it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right.
I mean, I got through it, but I don't think my audience can hear it at all.
Nah, I mean, we're just guessing at this point, right? We can
I
assume.
literally don't think I
What
can
are
hear
we
mine.
doing here?
Yeah. I mean, we got. I mean, obviously, somebody raised me 3-bet get
Yeah.
a cold call from the big blind and he calls. So it's
Yeah.
obviously whether we're check betting and what size. I mean, I if I was, I could go both ways. I'm either betting 140K here or I'm checking. It's a pretty dry board. But when we pick up that cold caller in the big blind, I think generally speaking they're pretty weighted toward pairs. You know, not a lot of people are. There's not a ton of hands with like a jack in them that when they cold call there. So I think I'm probably betting 140K most of the time.
Okay. So Jay Smith is going 140. He thinks there's not going to be as many just Jack X, certainly not too many offsuit Jack X, maybe some of the suited variety. Not going to have like ace Jack suited too often or anything like that. I guess he still could, but
there's actually no combos of ace jack suited because
we have the
ace of spades and hearts. So there's
all four
actually
suits are out there.
Yeah, there's actually no ace jack suited.
So there's no ace jack
off.
Yeah, and he's probably not calling ace jack off in this spot for sure. Yeah. Station J Coop says check with the aces. Okay. What is your guy saying? Drenning is betting 140 here, Toe.
Yeah, he's betting 140 on my stream too.
Okay, cool. Generally, we're given like the whoever's competing an opportunity to kind of go first, so we don't influence.
My fault.
It's cool. Because I didn't want to. I also didn't want to cut you off.
No, you can cut me off.
No, but we give these guys because I want to see kind of what they do. I found that if we give them an answer, like, sure, I'll do that.
Generally go with that one.
Right.
I mean, I like I said, I do both here. I would just kind of. It's definitely opponent dependent. I mean, this is obviously it's like a 10K buy-in, right? Like 5 tournaments, so that's going to influence more than like a 1650 online. You know, I'm probably just default always betting in a 1650 or something. Whereas I might mix in some checks. Like I said, we have a pretty protected hand on a very dry board. So
yeah, I have a couple of thoughts. Like you said, I can go either way. My standard is to bet with my entire range here and bet super small, so I'd probably go 140 myself. But if he checked here, I mean, it's not like we need any protection. And then I just wanted to say shout out to James Romero, who he's been doing a few of these quizzes, and his first few he was like a deer in headlights staring at the camera. It's looking pretty chill today.
I remember the first. I was like behind him, like getting pizza in Vegas one time, and he was like talking to some other reg, and I was like, "Who is that?" I was like, "I know who that is." I was like, "I'm trying to figure out who that is," and I was like, "Oh," somebody was like, "Oh, it's James Romero." Then I was like, "Oh, that's who that is." That dude's a crusher.
Yeah,
stone cold killer.
Yeah, he's so good.
How about what are you doing, Sickness?
Oh, me, I'm probably checking a lot in this spot. I mean, at least in this particular situation, I think we get 2 streets. It's probably a 2-street hand. Mm-hmm. A lot. It's going to be hard to go bet.
Yeah, bet check or check bet. I think are both really good.
I kind of like that. I kind of like the option a little bit more.
The check bet is good just because people level themselves some, whatever. But also, I think people level themselves both ways when you go bet or check or check bet.
Right. I mean, every once in a while, I just like to give an opportunity for them to maybe pick up a pair that extra. Well, if they hit a queen or something like that, they're going to be a little bit more incentivized to or level themselves a little bit more. We can get a little bit more value. And we still sometimes get at least a street from some of the pairs that
I just think everything. I think like I said, I think the big blind in particular tends to, in my opinion, be more. I'm not sure how people in a 10K are setting up their cold calling 3-bet range from like the big blind. I mean, it's kind of odd to have like any cold calls here.
Yeah, exactly.
From the big blind. So I don't know like what that range looks like, but in my opinion, in a lot of the things that I play, this generally tends to be very much weighted toward pocket pairs. Yep. So I think if that's the case, like a lot of the pocket pairs are gonna call here that called 3, and like those type of hands, if they improve, they're ahead of us. So
And the
It's
good thing
not
is, like, you get one street here from like pocket eights, like you're saying, the
That's what I'm-
players that
yeah.
call and don't raise us, right? And you
'Cause
won't
enough of
lose
the
them.
turns are gonna
If a
contain a
queen comes on the
card.
turn, now you lose a hand like that. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. All right. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I can see 140. I'd probably do that sometimes as well. So Journey's doing 140. So yeah, let's see what James does.
All right, let's do it.
Won't be able to hear shit, but
We'll summarize.
Hey,
good job.
Don't need a lot of protection on a board like this, and stacked pot ratio is quite small. So that's what we do. Big blind comes along, original raise.
SPR.
5 of spades. Should we check? Bet 250K or bet 500K?
All right, so what did it now? We get called. He pretty much said the same thing. He's going to bet here with most of his range.
yeah, and also I think the important point there as well is that our particular hand doesn't really need a ton of protection. You know, it's not like it's like Jack 9-7 with 2 flush that we don't have the ace of or something like that. I mean, Jack Deuce Rainbow is about as dry of a board as, you know, we're either way ahead or way behind here.
Agreed. Let's see what chat is saying now. What are you guys doing? Jacob's betting 250. There's 500. Anyone checking?
I don't see
SPR.
any checks here. Beat's saying he likes the bet check line here.
We are either
I have
way
some thoughts
ahead
about that. We have a bunch of
for that
250Ks in
reason,
here
I
and a couple of
check
500s.
Station set.
Gab's checking. There's a check. Cat's Meow's checking, getting sneaky.
Yes.
Young Mucker's going 500. Gil going 250. Ginger 250. Tina 250. Tyrus 250. Bunch of 250s.
Whiskey deck in the house. Ship says.
What's up,
Don't
Chip?
see. Oh, there he is. Probably going to bet
Ship the
250 and keep him in the
legend.
pot. So that's what
My
our
dude.
man of the
Ship
hour is
the
doing.
My dude. I like a check here, Longo says. Okay. Otto says check for me. So I'm seeing a lot more checks here on the turn. I see 150. DB Chops is going 500. Okay. What is your guy doing? I think
250.
Draining says he'll check and call river bets.
Nope. We're going 250. This is where we part ways.
This is where we part
No
ways.
tie on this quiz.
Nope.
What are you doing, Sixes?
Are we going to be able to get 3 streets from any portion of his range here when we go bet on this 4? I still don't feel like it.
Not that we're ahead of.
Yeah, that we're ahead of. Yeah,
we
yeah.
can get 3 streets.
Sure.
We can get 3 streets from 10 Jack.
Yeah, they can get 3 streets from us.
Let's hit that ace ball.
Yeah. So yeah, for that reason, I'm probably going to check, reevaluate. We can easily bluff catch rivers if he does decide to somehow lead into us, depending on size, and then we can probably just bet for value if he checks on rivers. So yeah, I'm going to take the check line and then reevaluate rivers.
So I think I guess I would try to think about like what floats. What floats does he have? And similarly to not having very much Jack X, I don't think he has like a ton. Like, so I think good floats here in this spot would be something like King, Queen, Queen 10 of like diamonds or clubs. You know what I mean? So hands that can improve, like can pick up more equity on the turn. They don't in this case, and also I just don't think there's a ton of that. But I think so. I don't know how much. I definitely would like to be bluff catching on the river still, but I just don't know how many like bluffs he's going to have necessarily. But I also like check back here, pot control for the times we're way behind, and get that value from like 8s, 9s, 10s. Didn't come with the 4-bet, kind of like you were saying. So I think I also like check here. What about you, Toe?
I'm a little conflicted. I wonder if we can get another street from 8s, 9s, and 10s, given that the 5 on the turn is some bullshit.
Well, if we get a street here, we're not getting it on the river. Probably.
Sure, but also
like I don't think
there are scare cards that can get those things that we don't get any river bets at all.
That's
Right.
true. I mean,
That is true.
there's only 2 aces left. I mean, that's the ace is the biggest scare card. Obviously, king or queen are scare cards as
Sure.
well as. The thing is, I think think our range has a lot of
Ton of bet
checks on this turn. Like just bet once, shut down. You know, our ace queen. I don't know that we're double barreling.
I definitely 100%
Checks that portion of our
agree.
range as well. I like that.
Yeah, I don't know that we're betting ace queen here.
When you
He
run
just
boards
doesn't
like this in
really-
Pio, it's exactly what it says. We bet small on the flop and then check a shitload of turns. I'm just not sure if aces is one we want to get value from or not. I'm
if
pretty
we
conflicted.
have like ace 3, ace 4, I think we'd want to be ace 3, ace 4
Those are
suited.
continues,
We'd
yeah.
want to be we'd obviously want to be barreling here, but like otherwise we don't really have a ton of bluffs that keep betting here. So I think we would want to check some well protected hands here. Like I would rather bet queens here than aces.
Agreed.
Okay.
If that makes sense, just because there's we
Queens
have
need a little more protection.
could use a little more protection. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. Cool.
All right, we're
going
checking.
250. After all,
All right,
yeah.
we're checking.
Ooh,
Let's
here
do
we
it.
go. We'll find out. I wanted to bet
Hey.
500 so bad. I did. Everything in me wanted to bet 500.
SPR. Who said 5?
Yeah, I'm having weird ass audio issues, guys. I know you guys can't hear this, but like
They can hear mine.
I can hear you guys in my headphones.
Sorry, Toe. I had my volume working. I didn't want to.
No worries.
Yeah, you could. I could hear it. They could hear it.
They can hear the quiz.
Yeah, mine is good. I mean, I
I'm
got my
having the
volume
weirdest issues.
good.
Like I can hear you guys in my headphones when I plug them into my microphone, but the sound from the quiz is coming through my speakers.
Your shit is. Yeah, I don't know.
I
That's
don't know what
wild.
the fuck happened. Anyways, cool.
Well, I know what we're doing.
So anyways, we bet the 500 on a turn. I wanted to bet that 500 so bad. And we get called. So now the question is what do we do here? Check 300 or 1.3 for Value Town?
How much was how much did you get for well, you couldn't have got a 0.
Yeah,
We got a fucking 1.
Oh, we're still ahead.
we out here getting one. We're nits. We're nits, and we're getting 1 point. We're nits, and we're
That's
getting 1
harsh
point for
as
it.
hell, James. You could at least got me a 2. I couldn't get a 2 or a fucking 1.
I feel like check can't be that bad there, but
I mean, the standard line, yeah, I don't think it's a 1.
You know what we gotta do,
But
Tom?
at
We
the
gotta-
same
we have
time,
to
like
run
I know
this
the
shit.
standard line here is bet small, check a shitload of turns, and when you do bet
Make a
turns, it's
note.
going to be the 60%ish.
I gotta make a
So but I couldn't decide if aces was one of those hands or not.
well, it
so
makes
pretty standard
sense.
line.
It makes sense. It makes sense along the lines of what I said, where if we have a ton of our range that we're checking on that turn, then when we do bet, we want to go big. Like if we're betting with everything, obviously we want to go smaller. So the more the smaller amount of our range that we're betting, the bigger we want to bet, just as a general rule. So that it does make sense if we are checking a lot to go big when we bet.
I have the spades.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, spades.
I know you guys don't have sound on the quiz. Like I said, it's a weird. I'm having weird audio issues. I don't know what happened. I plugged in my
Big blind,
headphones and
cold
shit went
call.
crazy. So I am kind of cutting it back for you and giving you an idea what they're saying.
All right,
we have a
so-
choice. You can either hear the quiz or hear the guests. Right now, I can't have both. I don't know what's up. That's what we're dealing with here.
So it's some tough decisions over here.
Yeah.
All right. 300K can't be good. Peanut says, I'm leaning towards a net move of checking after that 500 flat. Station says, I'm going full net, he says, check. Okay. Drenning, what are you doing here, buddy? You got an answer from your guy? Jay Coop's checking.
Our guy's betting 300K. Feels too small. 1.3 seems too big, so he doesn't want to jam. If I had to choose, I would. Wait, I think if I would bet. I bet 300K feels too small. 1.3. I get it. 300 seems too small. 1.3 seems too big, so he's checking. Got it.
Okay. Drenning, what are we doing here?
As well.
How much was the 250K bet for points? It was 3 points.
3
guys.
points.
He got 3, and we got a fucking 1, dude. So times.
One little pity point Here you go.
You didn't
Yeah,
goose
here
egg
you go.
it. Goose egg it.
You
Here's
didn't
your-
fold the
here's your
hand,
pick.
so
It's like -5. Shit.
I'm
Drilling
checking.
is jamming.
Someone's jamming? Your guy's jamming?
Yeah, he's jamming.
I like how sometimes the person doing the quiz does a particular choice, and sixes can't control his bodily functions and his emotions. Like he can't
Oh,
control
just like in real life.
He hated
he's fast
jamming.
as fuck.
He hated jamming. You can see it in his body.
Oh,
his body.
no, I don't hate jamming this. I think
Oh,
I'm
it
jamming.
looked like you looked so uncomfortable when you said that.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm doing it, but
Are
because
you
I
doing
think that's going to be the outcome. But
Interesting, because I think I would have bet 500K on the turn, and I would be checking back this because
we condensed his range, and he's going to
all
have
those
enough
all
jacks.
those middling pairs aren't calling the triple barrel like you said, and now we only get called by a jack, and queens and kings would have 3-bet us pre, right? So
Well, we 3-bet.
4-bet is pretty.
They might not have.
queens with flat, kings 4-bet. You think?
I think.
I mean, we're 32
Or
bigs
check
deep,
raise.
right?
He can't read me.
He
We
can't
were. I
read
mean,
me.
just
Oh,
to
man.
start the
Can't
hand.
read
To
me.
start the hand, we had more than 30. To start the hand, he was.
50 or 60.
We were like 50. something like
Yeah,
that.
he's 50. I think he was 48 effective.
So you're in an awkward spot if you.
Yeah, probably not
If you come in with the
4-betting
cold
queens.
4, if you come in with the cold 4 with queens and you get jammed on, like, you can sit there and level yourself and decide it's ace king, but even then, like, it's not.
Yeah, in the
Obviously.
1650, you're snapping, and in this 10K, probably not a good idea.
Well, I mean, I don't know. In the 10, you're actually almost better off calling the 5-bet rip in a 10K,
Yeah, 10K?
just because it's like ace 5 suited sometimes. You know what I mean? Like people just aren't doing that. It's ace king or it's kings plus, right? So it's like.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago. I was playing a $55 major on ACR, and the guy did it to me with ace 10. Just cold 5-bet. So it definitely happens.
That's the greatest hand, man.
That's so
It's like
funny.
screenshotting it already.
I don't think it could have been planted. For those of you that don't know, Jsmith did that to me in a tournament not too long ago, and it was
We were
funny
like
because
300
I
we were like
immediately
300
hit him
big
up
blinds
on Twitter.
deep.
The timing couldn't have been more perfect. I immediately hit him up on Twitter and said, "Man, you got a cool 5 bluff here, really?" And then as I was doing that, he was already screenshotting and had the.
I just said.
And then all he said was, "One moment, please."
I just said hold, please.
So then I thought he was multi-tabling, had shit going on, whatever. And then all of a sudden I saw a notification on Twitter. I was like, what the
That
fuck?
shit was so funny.
It was hysterical. It was the greatest thing ever.
That
It
shit
couldn't
was
have been.
so
couldn't have
funny.
been.
You hit him with the cold, the 5, with the 5-bet, with the 5-bet
shit could
out
not
of
have been
position
better.
with the ace 10, 300 something big
So yeah,
blinds
you're right.
deep.
You're right.
I'm torn here. I think like 10s and 9s. Once we get to this point, I mean, ace 4 got there, but if we do have bluffs that went 2 streets, I mean, I think we're probably following through here. Once we get to this point, I think we do have some bluffs that want to just jam. I don't think that the bet 300K seems like it would be good if we think we're going to induce a bluff. So like that seems like that'd be what that is good for. Like if we were out of position here, I don't really hate like betting 300K, make it look like it's a blocker bet and induce
Try to induce jams.
some bluffs here. There's no real reason for us to block or bet in position. So to me, 300K is out, and I either want to just check now or go for it all. I'm interested. Do you think that Jack X? I don't think Jack X on this board is ever check jamming turn,
No.
right? So he
I don't
has
think so.
all the Jack X that he has, but like, what is that? It's like 10 Jack suited,
King Jack suited.
maybe King Jack suited. King Jack suited seems
Like
a little rough for a
flat out of
for
position.
a flat.
Yeah. I think
So
if
it's-
anything, that hand should be 4-bet squeezing.
So it's
you
like
know?
Yeah. I feel like it's like Queen Jack suited and 10 Jack suited. Like those hands play a lot better against the 3-betting range than King Jack suited does, just because it's less often dominated.
Of course.
So I'm torn. I'm torn between just jamming here. Like we've got to this point, we have basically the top of our range, and just checking. I think I tend to knit it up too much in these spots, and I'm trying to not. So I think I'm just gonna jam. I think I'm
Me
going
too.
1.3.
Yeah, I'm just jamming.
I think I'm checking. I bet big and narrowed his range.
And it works out because Drenning is jamming as well. But I'll give you cliffs on what he says if you can't hear what he says. If you can't get the audio working.
He shows up with check 3 off beats.
All right, let's do it. You ready?
So, yeah. Wait. I'm pretty sure we're checking.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said 300 is too small and 1.3 is too big, so we're checking.
All right, bombing. Good luck, us.
That's the ball.
Hey.
Let's go.
I think we still eked him by 1 point.
The board, so we have 0 combos of ace jack suited. I don't think he's going to be flatting out of position with ace jack off. Maybe an extremely small frequency of queen jack and king jack suited, 5% of the time. But even so, there's only 4 combos total of those hands that I just mentioned. Additionally, if he did have a jack, it would be semi-likely that he would have put in a raise or a donk bet on any of the prior streets. So I think he's much more weighted towards pairs. When we bet 1.3 million into 1.9 million, looking at player pool data, I think he's probably going to call about half the time. MDF says he should probably call more than that. So I do think we're going to be getting called, a relevant amount of times here on the river. So I think a shove is good. It is a little bit thin, but I prefer it over betting small.
No outcome. We don't see if he calls or what, but yeah, that's it. We got 10 for that. What'd you get for that, Toe?
2 points. So 15,
you got a 2?
15
20,
total.
21. We did it. Let's go.
20. Oh, 2 tens and a 1. Dope.
Yeah, 2 10s and a 1.
2 tens and that little pity point.
Yeah, we got that pity point. But yeah, Toe, did you get an opportunity to hear what he was saying?
I did not. But I did get the audio all fixed in the meantime, so I think we're good.
All right, cool. Yeah, he was just saying it meets. He thinks he's just going to get caught about half the time in this situation.
By things like pocket 8s and pocket 9s.
Yeah, he just says he has a lot of pairs. There's not a lot of Jack X, maybe a very small frequency, but
it's
he thinks it's a little thin.
It's interesting to me that he thinks that that King Jack suited is going to be here more frequently than 10 Jack, because he mentioned obviously Queen Jack suited is going to be the most common hand here to cold call that has a Jack in it. But like he mentioned King Jack suited and did not mention 10 Jack suited. I honestly feel like people are, again, I'm not sure what these guys in 10Ks are doing and what solvers say, how often to cold call, with the 10 Jack suited there. But like, I feel like 10 Jack suited is way more likely than King Jack suited. I personally would rather be holding 10 Jack suited here if I cold call that.
Just a little more connected.
For sure. Agreed.
Yeah, it just plays so much better. If the flop comes King 7-4 and dude just goes 3 streets on you, what are you gonna do with the King Jack suited there?
Yeah. Cool. You guys won, yeah?
5. All right. Yep. We won. Drenning, I got you, my dude. Make sure to send me a message, and I'm slow in sending that shit, but I got you. All right, we're gonna pick another one.
Cool. Young Muckers, thank you for subbing, and Chris Khalifa, thank you for the follow. Mike Cash, thank you for the 14
The Light
months.
King.
Cyrus, thank you for the 26 months.
I'm gonna grab a cup of coffee while you guys are doing that.
Yep, that's cool. The keyword will be Jsmith. Let's do that.
Before you do that, let me change it on my end.
Well played, Dre.
Jsmith. Cool. You guys are ready. Jsmith in the chat, guys. Jsmith for your chance to compete against each other. $5 either PayPal or ACR, whatever works for you. This is the PokerCoaching.com study session stream. Exclamation point PC in my chat. Exclamation point PC in Six's chat. And you can get a link to sign up for free. And with that, you get 20 free quizzes, homework assignments, big blind charts for 100 blinds or more, and a wealth of other content. If you sign up for premium, you have all these coaches giving you all this content, webinars where you can interact with them directly, staking opportunities, all that jazz. At least sign up for the free stuff. You got to be crazy not to get the free stuff. It's too good not to. We do the stream every Saturday, noon Eastern. If you're enjoying this one, even though on my side we had all sorts of sound issues, but I think I got everything worked out. In general, the goes pretty good. And we have our guest Jsmith today. We've had a lot of other guests. We've had Greg Raymer, we've had Jesse Sylvia, Evan Jarvis, Matt Affleck. God, I can't think who else. A ton of us. Lango. We got some more guests coming down the pipe.
Justin Kelly, Ben on Drew.
Yeah, tons of. It's true.
Stone Life, Longo. I mean, we've been fortunate enough to have a lot of. We had Penny Six.
That's right.
Jay Saliba. Hey, Young Monkers comes over here.
So if you like any of those, you can find them on the YouTube channel. !YouTube in the chat.
You're looking out, buddy.
And you can go check those out. If you have any questions for me, Sixes, or any of the guests we've had in the past, just throw it in the comments, and we will make sure that
out here
it gets to you.
Thank you, buddy.
Want to pick a quiz in the meantime?
Yeah, you can go ahead and pick one if you see anything that kind of catches your eye.
The cool thing is like some of the newer coaches have been actually putting out content recently. So like I'm looking at Tristan Wade. There's a Alexi Gavin.
I mean, you already know I'm gonna pick up a Faraz one later.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Lexi. Let's do 1009.
Cool. So we'll do this Lexi one, the RGG Deep Stack Ace 3 O. So yeah, let's give Jsmith a minute. Gonna make some coffee and let's pick someone. We can pick someone now as well.
We got Melissa in the background there. We haven't asked her yet, but she'll eventually be a guest on the stream.
Yes, we were talking about
spoiler
that.
alert.
Yes. All right, I'm ready.
Jsmith, we're being asked if you could show off your Sunday special trophy.
Who asked that?
The Beats in my chat asked that one.
Well,
That is funny.
It's over here. I can get it. It was so funny because I was just not thinking at all. Didn't click in the brain space there.
That is funny. All right, rolling a winner. It is Bruce, our standard winner every weekend. What's up, Bruce?
And we got Stations favored. My dude.
Another standard
Eddie.
winner.
Yeah, that's my dude, man. I love it. Hey, man, these guys get in here. I mean, they show up and, you know, they're active, so they get rewarded, man. We appreciate the support for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're going to do quiz 1009, Lexi Gavin. Hey, fucking Ship don't die. Really appreciate that, Ship the man. Make sure to give Ship a follow. My dude's got heart, man. I love this kid. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for the 14 months. Appreciate that.
Lexi was playing the Venetian tourney. I saw her there yesterday or 2 days ago, maybe. I'm not sure if they live here, but her and I can't think of his name right now. Her boyfriend were playing it the other day, so saw them over there.
Nice. She's actually one of the few coaches on this site that I haven't met yet.
I met her at Run It Up. Nice. The last one that existed before the Earth shut down.
Before the world went crazy.
Was planning on going to this past one, but looks like they're having it. Looks like they're having it again coming up. So
nice.
I've been meaning to go to.
You should definitely go. It's
the problem is like I get 2 poker trips a year. Last year it was the WSOP is always one of them, and then I went to Costa Rica, and so I missed Run It Up. And this year I was going to go to Run It Up, and
I was going to go to Run It Up as well. Oh well, next year. All right, I'm ready. You ready?
Me too. Senate Cove, thank you for the kind comments. He says thank you for the superb content. Appreciate you, buddy. Mark, let's play it.
Hi everyone, this is Lexi Gavin with PokerCoaching.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about a hand that I played. This is the Run Good Gear Deep Stack event in Iowa.
Run Good Gear.
I actually wound up winning this tournament, so that was my first live win, so I was super excited. And I had a lot of interesting hands that I thought I would go over, so this is one of them. So let's jump right into the action. We are playing 200-400 with a 400 big blind ante. I'm sitting with roughly 80 big blinds. We have ace-3 off in the small blind. It folds to the cutoff, who is playing every hand, like literally every hand. He was opening 6-3 suited and stuff like that, so folds, button folds, and we are in the small blind with ace-3 off. What should we do? Should we fold, call, or re-raise to 3,500?
All right, Bruce, what are we doing here? Fold, call, or 3-bet? J. Smith does live here in Vegas. He made a trip across the country and lives in a stream house with a bunch of really good players.
Grindhouse.
Grindhouse.
Only one streamer, and he's semi-retired streamer.
Semi-retired streamer.
Is he semi-retired? Is he not?
I mean, I don't know what he is. That'd be up to him. But he hasn't streamed for a little while. I know that. It's been a little while.
We were kind of talking about that before this all started. How much work people don't realize it is just to be a streamer. The social media and always having to be on and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was never good at all that stuff. I showed up, played, hung out. That was it for me. That was
I just want to show up, hang out, and play. I can't keep up with all the other shit.
I wasn't a good content creator, that's for sure.
All right, we got answer streaming in the chat here. 3-bet 3,500 for PTR. 419 going 3,500. Cat's Meow folding 3,500 for Senin.
Yeah.
Just a flat for MGM. There's a ton of 3,500.
Look at all the hype in the chat. Sheesh.
Including Bruce.
Damn, the chat is going crazy. What's up, God VIP? DB Chops. Station Favorite is saying the hand is too strong to fold to Maniac and too weak to flat, so he's 3-betting to 3.5K as well. So.
Bruce says 3-bet to squeeze and get heads up with the fish. So it's the same type of thing. So that's our answer. Everyone 3-betting. I mean, there's a couple of calls, but most everybody 3-betting. Cheech, Marlin, everybody. Gil, Ginger.
Everybody's
Dustin says fold. Chips aren't worth enough in your stack to get out of line against an aggro player, especially out of position. So we have there's a couple of folds in here too.
Yeah, some people are like, well, the quiz is going on. We have ace-3, so there's no way fold's the right answer because quiz. For me, it's a fold. Personally, even for somebody just,
thank you.
I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna probably want something like ace-8 off plus ace-9 off, even at this stack. There, we got to think about playability as well. I mean, I guess if he's super aggressive, it's just gonna be he's gonna show.
We don't know that he's super aggressive.
He just plays every hand.
We know that he's playing every hand. Yeah. He's active.
I think I said maybe if he's
for sure. No, I know, but I think that's an important distinction though.
Right.
Like if this is a very aggressive player, I would prefer to not reopen the pot to him. And also you're just going to be out of position facing a lot of difficult decisions. If it's just I know this archetype well because I play, because I play enough live poker. I know this archetype well. I'm not in love with 3-betting and playing like a bloated pot out of position with this particular hand. And if given the fact that he's playing every hand, I could actually see flatting here, only because like we're gonna play a super high SPR. And like we'll play, but even though we're out of position, we will play better than he will post flop. So the smaller the SPR, the fewer mistakes he can make. Kind of like he can stack off with some stuff more. So, so I could actually see flatting here because I just don't think he's ever folding. So it takes the value of 3-betting away some to me.
Yeah, if he's never folding, the value of 3-betting really isn't there. And I guess if he's playing every hand, our ace-3 is going to run pretty decent equity because he's just going to make a lot of mistakes post-flop. But yeah, I could see calling being valuable as well. And yeah, you make a very good point about the distinction between if they're not like super aggressive, they're just playing hands and then playing very poorly post-flop. Like, yeah, we should just be playing a lot more hands versus these players. So, yeah, Toe, what are you doing here?
I mean,
I mean,
Default for me is three better fold.
The default. I know you. You're
Toast
three.
putting it in the muck.
Actually, I'm three betting way
No,
more.
Probably
Toe,
three
but
bet.
I'm three betting this a
I know
lot.
he's three. I know he's
But
three
against
betting.
against the aggro, I might
I
fold.
four bet him.
I might, yeah, right. There you go.
That's why I hit him with the 5 ball.
That's true. I actually had a hand that one too. It was the rare occasion. But yeah, I mean, I would three bet or fold this. I would three bet this a lot against a guy who's super aggro and going to make my life difficult out of position. I can get behind folding. Definitely good arguments for calling, but it's just so awkward to play at. They're just going to check fold so many flops. And I'd rather probably just fold.
I mean, depends. If he's playing every hand and he's auto c betting, I'm probably not
say turn always.
I'm probably not check folding ever. Like there's probably
Totally
unless it's like 8, 9, 10
Sure,
two-tone. I'm not really check folding if I peel here because he's playing every hand and he's just auto c betting. I'm check calling one.
Yeah.
So I think I could see. Well, I guess I might be spoiling if I do, whatever. But I imagine Lexi probably three bets this, and my guess is that I will say that I would consider calling here a lot. My answer is going to be the three bet because I think that that's probably more correct. Yeah. So I'm a quiz level go three bet here.
Nice. My chat going crazy, amazed that sixes has a fold.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty. I said if this guy. And I preface it with if he's like aggro in these spots, like post flop and stuff like that. I'm just gonna find a lot of other spots and on the button or whatnot.
Be in position.
But if he's absolute dog shit on like post flop, I can see just always getting involved here. Like if we're in a crazy eights on Iggy and some guy's playing 75% of hands here, like I'm just trying to play pots versus that guy.
Yeah.
Right now, let's see. Drenning is Station's favorite 3.5K.
So is our guy Bruce here. Bootswoman, thank you for the bits. Cheech, I don't know if I thanked you for the follow, but thank you. All right,
let's do it.
So I gave folding a score of 2 points, calling a score of 6 points, and re-raise to 3,500 a score of 10 points. I think I like a three bet here against the fishy cutoff guy that's playing every hand. As you can see, I have the big blind labeled as a nitty player, so I didn't worry too much about him just cold calling the three bet or four betting. And ace three is just a good candidate to do it. You have good removal with the ace.
She didn't say that to
us. It's a little light, but and I do prefer if squeeze three betting in this spot if the button had open instead, but like I said, the cutoff was playing such a wide range, so I thought it was good to put in the three bet. And I like going 3,500. It's a little more than 3x. When I'm out of position, like in the blinds, and I'm re-raising, I like to size up a little bit. So that's what we do. We go 35, big blind folds, and the cutoff that plays every hand calls. And the flop is ace of diamonds, 8 of clubs, deuce of clubs. So what should we do? Should we check, bet 2,500, or bet 6,500?
All right. Three bet get called. Ruh-roh. What are we going to do now? What do you guys think? PTR smacks out the 2,500. He can't even control himself. Just right out there.
We all agree to disagree. This seems pretty terrible to me, to be honest. I mean, it's not theoretical. I mean, we're just exploiting a fishy bad player here. This is just strictly exploiting.
I think it's interesting that there's such controversy in your chat because this three bet is like default for me.
Putting more chips in the pot and playing hands with terrible live players is really, really good. Like you can't go wrong. I mean, putting chips in the pot against like super old nitty guys live is not good. Putting chips in the pot against people that are just terrible and playing every hand, it cannot be bad. It's why call there is better than fold. Like just play hands with them post flop. Like you will make money as long as, and if you're not willing to put hands in with him post flop, you might be one of the bad players. So just be aware of that. Like be aware that if you're afraid to play with these guys, it might be you can't.
You're probably playing way too tight.
Probably playing too tight.
Yeah, for sure.
We got a bunch of mixed answers in my chat. 2,500s from a few people here. We got a few checks. Our boy Bruce is checking.
The ace of clubs, back doors. What do we like here? Station's favored. I'm seeing some 2.5Ks in my chat. I'm leading 2.5K with the ace of clubs in my hand. 6,500 is unnecessary, and he will fold out hands that I want to stay in. So station's favor with the 2.5K.
Oh, and Bruce checking.
J. Smith is ageist, Casper says. There's a million other hands we can play here. Crimoulet says 2.5K. All right.
What are you doing, Sisters?
I could see either option. I mean, a bad player. We have the ace of clubs and some backdoors. Will he make mistakes? If we check on future streets, we can always call if he over bluffs or if he improves to a worse hand. Are we going to get 3 streets with this hand? We could potentially pick up equity bet again, and just find bets. So yeah, I mean, standard, I would probably just go 2.5K. Just put money in a pot. I don't think he has a ton of other ace. Actually, he could just flat like any of his ace X. But yeah, check or 2.5K would be close with the ace of clubs and the back doors. We don't need a lot of protection either.
Yeah. I don't. This is one of those spots where I don't think it matters what our range wants to do. I think it just matters what our hand wants to do. Just because that's how we play against these bad players. So I mean we have top pair. I think he might call a small bet. Against better ace X, like you said, we have the ace of clubs and then we have a 3, so we can backdoor straights or flushes.
Yep.
I think my default in this spot a lot in general is to check, particularly the backdoors and weak top pair. But I think I'm just betting. It just goes back to putting more chips in the pot with top pair. Can't be good. It can't be bad against this player.
I like it. You going 2.5K, I presume, of course?
Yeah, 2.5K. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. So J. Smith's also going 2.5K. I can go either way. I mean, betting versus a player like this, like J. Smith says, put more money in. This guy's going to put in money bad, and we can always improve to keep betting or call a lot of turns. So yeah. Either way, what is your guy doing here? We're going 2.5K.
Bruce is checking. I actually think I would check this a decent amount myself, especially with the ace of clubs. Kind of like J. Smith was saying that it's kind of his default here. If I had a better ace, I would definitely see bet here.
Sure.
Like you kind of alluded to, he's got some better ace X, and also it adds a little deception. I need some ace X checkbacks, to balance and all that good stuff. But if you're not worried about balancing,
I don't think you need to balance that.
Yeah,
I think that's the important thing.
Flashy player, then I could see a lot of argument for going 2,500 and keeping everything in. 6,500 chases out all his under pairs and things like that. So yeah, I think it's check or 2,500 too. My default would be check, but again, 2,500 can't be a mistake.
By the way, for Casper here, the old man coffee default line here with kings is bet 6,500. Got to check and see if they got an ace.
Yeah. Aspire big and see if they have it.
Yep. Cool. We're checking. Bruce is doing the same thing I'm doing.
All right, we're going 2.5K. Let's do it.
So I gave checking a score of 6 points. Checking
2.5K
is okay if you don't think you're getting 3 streets of value, but because this guy was such a calling station, I thought he would be calling our C-bet pretty wide. So I think we can start betting for value, and we have the ace of clubs, so we have backdoor flush draw. So I gave betting 2,500 a score of 10. I think this is a good size. Betting 6,500, I think we're going to get folds from that wide range that he could be calling C-bets with. 2,500 is just it just invites him in a little bit more. So we go 2,500 and he calls. The turn now is a 3, so we have 2 pair. What should we do? Should we check, bet 4,500, bet 7,000, or bet 9,500?
All right.
Checking with 6 points.
We got we got 2 10s, baby.
And I think, like I said, it makes a lot of sense to bet into the splashy player for sure. Default would be checking, but against this player, it makes a lot of sense to bet small.
Right. All right, what are we doing here on the turn? We fucking turn Jen, 12, 8 in the pot, 32 bigs in the pot. He has 85 bigs behind. What are you guys trying to accomplish here? We're trying to get the money in. How are we going to do that?
They're streaming in my chat
or are we checking to induce? What are you guys doing?
Blevin says min bet again. Dustin Bryan going 7K. Young Muckers going 7K. Beats going 7K. Tina going lots of 7Ks. And then a sprinkling of 4.5s. Number says set up the River Jam. 7K for sure. 7K for Dennis. Casca says 4x5 keeps worse hands in. Still waiting for Bruce.
Still waiting for Bruce. Yeah. Let's see. Station's favorite is checking here. Excuse him, all?
Mostly 7Ks in my chat by a landslide.
Okay, you can't change that.
Bruce, where you at?
If this was any other player, I'd bet my premium made hand here. Okay. There's 12.
Betting small, hoping to get raised by the draw. 7 for Bruce.
So Bruce is going so everybody's the SPR is going to be almost like exactly 1, right? Like it's going to be 28 in the pot and 27 or something like that in his stack. Yeah.
We have 26K though.
Oh, we have 26.
We're the effective stack.
Yeah, we're the effective stack. Yeah, I'm looking at there. So yeah, 7K will do it. I kind of like 7K now. Yeah, we can even more now.
Yeah, we can. I think.
Yeah, 7's good.
Yeah, I think in general we can toss 9,500 out just because if we were deeper, we might want to overbet here just to be able to get stacks in. But we can, we even could, if we go 4,500, that puts like 22 or whatever in the. We would have less than pot behind even if we went 4,500. But I think that this. Getting this, so he has flush draws, and I think if he's a true station like this, obviously his flush draws don't have a pair unless it's like 3x, which could be, but I think that they got their answer in, right?
They got their answers in. My dude, check
the thing is they have called on the flop already in a 3-bet pot. I don't know if that means that they have ace-x, but if they don't have ace-x, they're probably not just gonna if they have an 8, they're probably not just gonna block. Stations just check back. They don't. So I don't see any reason to check here. I think that just going 7K and setting up a really easy river jam is pretty good here, personally.
Yeah, 100% agree. 100% agree.
Yeah, I don't think we can check. I don't like check as much with this SPR. He's called a flop bet and a 3-bet, so let's try to get the money in.
Don't give him a chance.
Yeah, and there's a few people saying
don't give him a chance to get away.
Check and try and check raise, and I just don't think that's going to happen very much. Like these guys were saying, stations are going to check back, and then someone said bet small to induce a raise from the flush draw. We have the ace of clubs, which limits the flush draws, and usually they're going to raise us on the flop and not flat turn.
They just call. If we give them a really good price to just call with a flush draw, they're just going to call with a flush draw. They don't like raising. They want to see if they want to see if they get there or not. That's how these guys play. They don't. They don't.
And the ones that do raise them are less likely to do it on an ace high board, right?
Yeah, they realize their equity. They don't. Go in there and steal it. They just call and when they get there, they get there.
Sure.
Yep.
Cyrus says we block clubs and we want stronger aces to call 4.5.
I'm clicking 7.
The thing about it is all the strong aces are going to call 7.
They're going to call 7. Yeah. 7. If he has ace jack, ace queen, whatever, he's going to call.
Sure.
All right, we're checking because that's what station's at. So yep, that's it.
So I gave checking a score of 3 points. I don't like checking here. We've now turned to pair. We believe this to be the best hand. He is calling very wide, so he is likely to call another straight. So now it's just a question of how big should we bet. I gave betting 4,500 a score of 8 points. bet 7,000, score 10 points, and bet 9,500, a score of 4 points. I think that somewhere between 4,500 and 7,000 is a good sizing. He is, like I said, a calling station, so he is going to be calling us down with worse pairs, maybe hand like pocket fives or hand that contains an ace, like an ace jack type hand. He could have an 8. I think betting 9,500 might get folds from those type of hands, like his deuce X and 3X hands. So we do bet 7,000 and he winds up folding, so we pick up a pot there. So that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next one.
Good stuff. We got a 26 for Bruce.
We got a 23.
Hey,
the check
Bruce,
on the turn.
Bruce never fails the army.
Never check.
Don't check.
My dude, never.
Bet your value. Bet your value.
Well, we should be results oriented though. He folded, so we should have checked.
Let's
be results oriented.
It's true. Bruce, congratulations, my man. Let me know if you want $5 ACR, PayPal,
it's all
or
good,
$5 off your Team Toe membership. Either way, whatever works for you, let me know.
It's all good, Stations. Good try, buddy.
Cool.
We can keep the password the same if you like.
It's good. Jsmith, all one word. Jsmith in the chat for you to get in. Bruce throws out a trophy. Nice one, buddy. Nice one. Congratulations. I picked one. You picked one. Jsmith, you want to pick a quiz now that you are all accessible and whatnot? Anything between like
some of the newer ones,
1002 and 1009. Because we've pretty much done everything behind that. 4.5, he would have stayed in with what, Cascat? I mean, he's only staying in with, I mean, we didn't price out like pocket sevens. Pocket sevens probably folding, right?
Have you guys done 1002? J Little's looks like a tournament hand. Prefer tournaments to cash hands because I am tragedy at cash. I've been playing a lot of six bags cash on WSOP.com to get the I want to try and get diamond from for Caesars, and it's so soft, but I'm just like I see myself getting so lost in all these spots. I'm just like I literally hit somebody up last night. It was like that does coaching. I was like I should probably get some cash coaching. Like I'm still making money on this site, but I'm definitely messing up some stuff.
I dislike more than one tabling on stream is cash games in any form.
We have to drag
cash games in any form.
I love that.
It's not for me. Spot 10 says Jsmith is the GOAT.
Oh shit, we gotta pick somebody.
Agreed. Legend of the streets. Legend.
Spot, one of my favorite dealers of all time. Also a very good player. But when live poker was a thing, and now that it is again.
All right, you ready to roll?
I'm ready to roll. Let's do it. It is Beats, my man. Congratulations.
Oh shit! His shit don't die.
Oh
baby.
Oh
red
shit!
On red violence. Here we go.
I don't know.
All right.
The ship there.
I don't know. Let's see if he's here.
I know Beats is here. He don't leave. He's just.
I was gonna say Melissa can answer. Melissa can answer for Ship. He's just gonna. What's the most aggressive line? Ship.
Got a raise here. Got a raise.
Let's go. Let's go.
How can he have anything better?
His ship is in the name, bro.
My king high is better than your random hand.
We gotta ship it.
This king high is better than these 9 other random hands. We gotta ship it. My dude.
He told me one time there was a clip and it got deleted and it made me really sad. He said we just take the super aggressive line, and when you do it, 3 things can happen. Either they fold and that's good, they call and we get there and that's good, or they call and we lose. So 2 out of the 3 are good. So we should just do that. It's the best. It was the best logic of all time. It was perfect.
That's so awesome. Well, Ship may not be here right now, so I think we should re-roll. I was gonna give a sub, let Melissa sub. I don't know if that's fair. Here, peanut flush.
Ready?
Yep, Peanut Flush. If you're here, you're in there. If not, Melissa's sobbing.
All right,
it's just that simple. Let's do it.
Here we have
I just sang
ace,
that. Which one
two
are
of
we doing?
clubs.
J Little, 1002.
You ready?
Yep. Oh, she's 8 tabling.
In a $1,000 buy-in World Series of Poker event, the under the gun +1 player, probably tight-ish, aggressive-ish raises. Should we fold, call, re-raise to 900, or re-raise to 1,200?
All right. What are we doing here? Peanut Flush, you here, buddy?
Ace 2 suited. What we doing?
Uh-oh.
Call.
Oh, you're here. Cool.
Spot.
It's on you, my dude. Welcome, my
Call for
dude.
Dustin.
So what are you guys doing here? I'm here.
Call for Gil. Call
Lighten
for
up that ass ship.
Present.
Call for DMC. Everybody.
We got people enlightened by the ship quote.
Even Machine Guns calling. Oh no.
It's enlightening shit, man. It really is. Like, oh shit. Well, you
I
put it
wish-
like that.
I wish that
It's just math, right?
I wish that that clip. I think he deleted the bot or whatever, and it like auto deleted the clip or whatever. I really, really wish that clip still existed. It was so funny, man. I loved it. It was perfect.
We have all calls. Cat's Meow raising 900. Cheech going 12.
Peanut Flesh is going 12 as well. So there it is. Are we flush mining or 3-betting? He said this dude's kind of tight.
He's tight aggressive.
Tight aggressive.
It's just generally just a reggy tag, you know. It's
of course, yeah.
If somebody's you just automatically assume if somebody seems reggy. Just tend to assume they're a tag. Some regs are legs, you know.
It's funny, one of those things like almost all styles can win, right? If you use them effectively. Mm-hmm. Some people are really good, super aggressive people. Some people are really good, more on the tight side.
I always like the hand histories on like Reddit or whatever. It's like hero's image is tag here, and then they're like, so I open 4-3 suited under the gun. It's like you sure about that? You sure about that tag image? You sure about that?
Beats, what are you doing? Beats is gonna call. We get a flat.
Beat is flatting here. I can see a flat being viable as well. I mean, I don't know how often we're 3-betting +1 in this spot. But yeah, I mean, I can see flatting, but if I'm going to 3-bet, should we just be going closer to 4x at this stack depth when we have this position?
Once again, he's the effective stack with 38 big buttons. We have.
God, I keep forgetting looking at
we have 100 big blind effective stacks behind, but
his effective. I understand. I didn't even look at his stack. I just looked at ours. So yeah, he's only got 40.
I would much more likely go to 12 if he had 100. If he had 100.
Yep. Yeah, I just seen that as well, Casper. I just looked at our stack. I looked behind us and seen everybody had 100. I was like, oh, everybody's got 100. Nope, he's got 38. Only player at I'm sure Jonathan put everybody's stack in there, but yeah. So that changes things a little bit. Yeah, you didn't see it either, Peanut, and that's why you said 12. Yeah. Oh man, I understand now why you said 1,200. Well, 1,200 is definitely probably not right.
I don't think it's that. I don't think it's terrible.
It's not. I mean, it's not bad. It's just over 3x.
3.3-ish. Yeah, 3.6, something like that.
I mean,
how much is it going to affect your guys' size? Like, kind of when we have this configuration, like, are you guys going to downsize a little bit when everyone else is deep and our villain, who is opening effectively pretty short? You like early stages like this, or are you still going to use a a larger sizing?
I would generally go right about 3x. So that'd be like in the it would literally be right in between these. It'd be like 10-5 is pretty much what I would go.
Yeah.
I generally use pretty clean sizings.
Mm-hmm.
So I would probably just make it like 10. So I think since 9 is closer to 10. The thing is, what I like about 1200 is with his stack, we kind of put him into a spot where he mostly needs to just jam or fold. And with this hand, it's so easy for us to just fold to a 4-bet. Like it's just, And so I think I actually think there is some merit to 1200, and then with the effective stacks behind. So I'm considering still going 1200 just to put him in an awkward spot here, where he has to jam, or mostly just jams or folds. So I'm actually gonna go 1200.
I like that analysis. Very good points. Since we're gonna leverage him a little bit more, is what you're saying, by going 1200. And we don't really not trying to induce him to call here. So we just go a little bit bigger.
Giant Cassio says 1155. So that's what I'd be betting here as a
1200 for everybody.
As a standard.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, put pressure on the stack, like I said. Espot asked what are some reasons that we would want to 3-bet here. One, I want to have initiative in the pot. I want to get heads up with this player in position. I tend to 3-bet my weaker suited aces and flat my good but not best suited aces. And then, so ace 2 is kind of the junky one, like Jay Smith said, easy to fold to a 4-bet. And we can make better aces fold even with a C-bet a lot of times, which is great.
Yeah, I mean, when we brick, when it's just like when it's just like the old King 8-3 rainbow board, we can just fire a quarter pot and just win a lot.
Especially when we go 1200 and then he flats that now.
He's got like when he's got like ace 10. Yeah, I just don't see him flatting a ton here. Although, I mean, this is a quiz, so maybe he's gonna flat. But I think probably just going. Like I said, my initial read was 900, but then when I thought about it more, I like somewhere in the middle, but I think going on the bigger size, given these choices.
Would it change if you guys were both 40 effective? Would you go like 2.7x or 3.3x, something like that?
Because the other reason I like the larger sizing is if we pick up a cold caller behind, like because we're 100 big blinds effective with them. So I think that does make sense. I might go more on like the 2.8. I don't generally go much lower than that unless it's some exploit against a terrible player, and I have just like aces or kings. And they're just gonna call always.
What do you prefer between flat and
stick MGM? Thank you guys.
I would rather against 38 big CP. I guess I would rather flat. The problem is we're gonna at least pick up the big blind almost always when we flat here. So we're going to go at least 3 ways most of the time. Maybe, button's probably going to call a lot as well. So I think I still prefer call just because like we can play fine post. But I would still prefer call over fold.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm torn between flat and call. Flat and fold rather.
We got 1200 here from Peanut. What's Beats doing?
I think he said flat.
Cool. I don't mind flat at all. But
that's fine. That's for sure fine.
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
Definitely
I think that's what Jay Little's gonna do. But let's see.
I think it's gonna 3-bet. Let's find out.
Yep. All right.
This is a situation where we can either call or fold. I think re-raising is fine if you think you're gonna have a lot of fold equity, but I'm not a huge fan if I have the opponent labeled as a probably tight aggressive player. So I'm either gonna call or fold in this spot. And in soft-ish World Series of Poker tournaments, I am way more inclined to splash around with hands that flop well because people are just not capable of making appropriate folds whenever it makes logical sense. So this is a situation where I think I like calling, but folding is fine, 3-betting is fine. We see the flop multi-way. It comes ace, queen, 3. I have the backdoor flush draw, and they check to me. Should we check, bet 450, bet 875, or bet 1,325?
All right. Well, he liked the call, gave 10 points for that. We got a 2 for the 1200.
Whoa.
2 for the 12.
Whoa.
Yeesh.
Interesting though, because like he said, it's tag players, so likes to 3-bet them less. I actually kind of like 3-betting tag players because they just like Jason,
like straightforwardly.
They play very linearly.
Yes.
Because I mean, you can just print by just playing ABC. So like that's what a lot of tag players are just going to be ABC players. That's not a bad thing. Like that's not an insult at all. I mean, I'm generally pretty ABC. It's pretty easy to figure out because people just play bad. So I just play very ABC and don't have to, think too much about it. So
yeah, I'm way much closer to the tag side myself as well.
Peanut Flush is checking back. Snapchat.
I've been asking this a lot. Bonus question for you. Do you know that NIT is an acronym? And if you did you know what the acronym stands for? I just found this out, so I'm asking all my poker friends.
Is it not in there?
You are the first person to get the bonus question in history. Super impressive. Super impressive. I had no idea it was not in there. Yeah, you nailed it.
I actually didn't know either, but
really,
nailed it. I just thought, what could NIT mean? If it's somebody this tight, they're probably not in there. So
you're the first person to figure it out. Bonus points for J Smith.
Never involved today. It's pretty solid.
That's a good one too.
Never involved.
Or just never in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never in there.
Not in there.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. A bunch of 450s and now a couple of checks. Comically checking.
Station pay for me is to check back or 450. Once we call pre, I guess we check here. Whoa. My guy answered. Did yours? He's Peanuts checking back.
Beats going 450.
Yep.
Super small.
450. With enough backdoors, I think we can still get called by some Queen X, all the gut shots and whatnot. Multi-way, I don't think we want to allow some gut shots or some second pairs to pick up 2 pairs that are going to call anyway. So yeah, really like betting this spot for sure. Multi-way for sure.
I check here all day. I don't know if it's the best thing. But people just, the thing is, this is one of those spots where when you check top pair on the flop, people just decide that you never have an ace.
True.
And then you can just always either get 2 streets or they decide to start bluffing at it. Like whatever, like the big blind or something I think it's the big blind in there. You just, they just become immediate non-believers the second you check back because everybody's standard line is always to bet all their top pairs. This is like the best candidate for checking for the reasons you said. And betting makes sense too, but backdoor straight, backdoor flush, it's a bad ace-X. Our under the gun player can still have better ace-X too, so we pot control against that. Because ace 10 is a good check here as well.
Yeah,
kind of the same.
A tight aggressive player may
ace 10 of hearts is like a perfect check spot. For those reasons, I generally check here. It makes sense what you said. This is multi-way, so it might be better to get a street here from Queen X or get the gutters to fold. That makes sense.
Or the gutters are, still are going to call.
Exactly. I was going to say, especially if the big blind has a gutter, he's going to call this deep. Folding. He's never folding this deep. I didn't mean. I think that the under the gun player generally is going to bet his gutters here. So I think if he's got king jack, 10 jack, whatever, I think these are just like mandatory bets in the spot. So I think that he's way less likely to have that type of hand, but the big blind for sure can have all the offsuit combos too of like king 10 and everything.
Yeah, and he's also, he probably checks back all his Queen X and then jacks may just check call one or something like that as well. I love that line like you take. I love that heads up. I just feel a little bit more inclined to that multi-way just because we're going to let more hands realize equity. And which is okay because we got backdoors ourselves and we're going to be able to see the river like almost every time.
Sure.
Of course. So yeah, I think it's close, and I like that thought process regarding checking here as well. Where
Yeah,
I normally bet,
I like your reasoning for betting. If you are you said 450. Are you going? You're going.
Yeah, I'm
small?
gonna go 450. I'm still gonna go small.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it.
I like both, but I'm gonna go with check.
I like both too. I think heads up, kind of what you said. If I was out of position, I'm checking for sure. In position, I tend to bet top pair, like you said. Do it.
See, I'm the opposite. I would rather check here in position because we can get our value. Like I would if I'm out of position, I'd rather thin out the. I'd rather thin out the crowd a bit. Get it heads up, like you said. I would much rather play heads up if I'm out of position. Where I'm in position playing multi-way with like a hand like this with the back doors, I'm less worried about letting a free turn card peel off. So
I think like when kind of like what you alluded to before, I think it was Sixty that said it was like under the gun, like check. So they should be betting all their ace-x, well, a lot of their ace-x here. I think people tend to oversee.
They're gonna have some. They're gonna have some pot controlled aces here for sure.
They're gonna have some, but I think people tend to oversee bet, especially top pair.
I totally agree that people tend to oversee bet, which is again why I find myself checking these spots so much because people tend to oversee bet. If you zag there, people just don't believe it ever. So
makes no sense. All right, cool. Apophis.
We're checking Peanuts checking here.
Thank you for the 35 fucking months, Apophis.
That's a big number.
Amazing.
Almost 3 years. Holy shit. Hey, good day, Albatross. Thank you guys for the support today. Having a lot of fun. All right, we're checking. You ready, Tom? Go ahead, do your thing.
450, ready.
Yep. Oh.
While we do have the best hand here a lot,
good job.
It's very
Gentlemen.
easy for the big blind to have an ace, which he would always check.
Big
and
blind as
under
well.
the gun +1 will also check decently wide as well. Not that he necessarily will, but he could easily be checking like ace jack or something like that, just planning on never folding, especially if he's a little bit tight or maybe a little bit conservative. So with my top pair, backdoor flush draw, bottom kicker, I think we just need to check behind. If I am going to bet, I definitely want to make a small bet size, like 450. As you start betting bigger and bigger, it's going to result in your opponents folding out the hands that you really want to keep in, like pocket tens, right? Whereas when you bet 450, sometimes those hands will make a stubborn call, and that just allows you to extract value. So I like checking. Turns a jack, and now big blind checks, under the gun +1 bets 500 into the 1,325 pot. Should we fold, call, raise to 1,200, or raise to 2,000?
Interesting spot. That's one of the cards.
What did you get for the 450? I'm very curious.
8 points.
Oh, okay. So it's very close.
It's super close. It's super close.
Super close.
And it makes a ton of sense for it to be super close. Like I said, I can go either way on this spot. I just, as a default, tend to overcheck like weak top pair, particularly when it's ace-x. Just because you always get future streets when you do it.
Yep, and we're in position, and we can always call turns, and our opponents aren't gonna think we have a lot of ace-x and bluff or overvalue some hands. So yeah, very good points. I like it. Yeah. Let's see. I'm seeing a lot of calls here. Nobody's calls. Raising. Yeah, nobody's.
Everybody call.
Agree on call here, but I kind of hate this. He says.
That's a terrible card.
My initial thought is to call, but I don't hate raising here. Whoa.
Who's raising?
Creme brulee poker.
What's your username?
It's the same.
It's just
Jsmith came on this stream just to take notes on you guys.
I'm asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend. He starts taking notes.
Do we fold here? Says Marlon.
Notepad.
We're definitely not fist pumping.
Let's see. Peanut snap calls.
Everybody's calling in on my chat.
The Kiats meow. Love here in a way, more pussy. I got to use a different name here so I can fail miserably in private. It's all good, man. It's not costing you money. We fail miserably on the felt. Like when we're playing, we just get wrecked and lose money. But now this is just getting wrecked at your friends and we laugh at you, I'm kidding. All right. That's better.
Chat's asking if we can make Whiskey Deck take some shots. You got to realize for me and Whiskey Deck that it's like not even breakfast time yet.
It's 10:45, guys.
It's early.
I only drink vodka before noon.
Otherwise, you'd have a problem.
It's got to be a Bloody Mary. It's got to be a Bloody Mary, kids.
Justin's saying he doesn't mind kind of a blocker raise. Go to like 1200 and then check back river just so that you don't face a bomb on the river, basically. Definitely interesting line.
People definitely do that. The people definitely do that where they're just trying to get like a free river in position. I would rather, if I call here and then just call river, I'm probably putting in a similar amount, and they have bluffs still. When I raise here, I narrow them down to not having bluffs. So I'm just calling here always, and I don't think it's like super controversial, but I can see why you would think raise like that. I just don't really like the logic behind trying to like decide what they do on them. First of all, there's nothing that makes them check river when you raise here. Like they're still allowed to bet. It's still there's no rule. There's no rule. Yeah, they can 3-bet here when you raise. They're still allowed to lead the 10 of spades river. Like, there's nothing that makes them check. And particularly in a live tournament, people love to just lead that river, whatever it is. It puts you in the worst spot ever because they always have it.
Because they can actually see you squirm.
Yeah, I'm calling here. Obviously, even against a lot of his better ace-X that check for pot control, we're going to river a chop here a fair amount. You know what I mean? If he's got ace-10, any board pair chops it, stuff like that. So I'm calling here and probably calling on a lot of rivers if it doesn't change the board texture anymore. But
yeah, I 100% agree.
Queen Jack is lurking. Queen Jack is looming. King Queen can now I think King Queen can value bet here if I'm the under the gun player. It can check or bet.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where our hand's too good to fold and too shitty to raise. I don't think we have.
Yeah, I mean, if we're raising, it's as a bluff.
It's to try and get
ace-10 to fold by the river is literally which it's not gonna fold turn.
Sure.
And then we're gonna have to bomb it on the river. So
and still pray in $1,000.
Yeah, I think we're just good a lot. I call.
All right, we're calling.
Yep.
Yep. Everybody's calling. Let's do it.
Once the under the gun player bets now, it's very easy for him to have a better hand than mine, right? I mean, he could easily have a hand like King 10, which would check the flop and planning on check folding, but then he just got there on the turn. He could be betting with Queen Jack, his hand that would check the flop. He could be betting Ace Jack, but at the same time, he may just be betting King Queen or Queen 10 or King Jack, right? Depending on his overall strategy. I think you're going to find that generally when people bet smallish on the turn like this, they are value betting with a wide range of marginal made hands. And against a wide range of marginal made hands, my ace-2 of clubs is actually okay, right? So this is a situation where I think the plan is to just call. And then if he keeps betting on the river, it's going to be rough, but it's probably a fold. I don't really like raising at this point. There's no point in raising because he's going to call with all better hands and fold worse hands. And I know I said that I don't think that he's betting with a good hand here, like Ace-Jack or King-10, because of the sizing, but realize that I don't know the opponent's strategy, and he could be only betting small with the nuts for all I know, right? Like it's important to realize that just because someone, say should be making a specific bet size does not mean that they will make a specific bet size with the portions of your range or the portions of their range that they would think you would use with those bet sizes. River's a 7 of spades, so backdoor flush gets there. And now the opponent checks. Should we check, bet 700, bet 1,400, or bet 2,100?
Check.
All right, we getting greedy
for value. We getting
and then we're
greedy
going
or
big
what?
if we do. 1, 2, let's fucking go. What are we doing here, boys and girls?
Such kind of a
anybody?
Seems like a weird line.
Just checking. I think I know what Toe's doing here. Or the old school Toe. I know what you're
Really?
Huh? I mean, well, he did check the river, so maybe.
Sick flush comes in 2. Is he gonna be checking the flush when we call turn? What are we doing here, Peanut? Nah,
Good
betting
bluff
isn't
card, says
doing
Dustin. Check,
anything.
That's spot going
Someone
1400.
says.
I'm assuming 1400 is value, right?
Peanut is checking. Chops, what size you going? You say get that thin value. You gonna go 14? 7? What are you doing? What size, my dude? Showdown value is good.
Dustin says, him being an undergun opener shouldn't have many flushes here with ace of spades and jack of spades on the board. Go psycho and turn it into a bluff.
Queen or king jack to call maybe. But you're checking. Yeah. 700 in position. We're going to reopen the pot for 700 chips. Woo. What size you going, Fallon? I'm sorry, guys. I'm just, the chat saying some crazy, not crazy. I'm seeing everything in here, dude.
I got a bunch of checks.
I'm seeing a lot of 700s. Oh, man. I'm checking.
I see Bruce coming out with the 10%er.
In position. Are we trying to induce?
That's not an option.
No, very interesting. It's just like, are we getting called by a lot of worse hands? We're really just targeting some king, jack, queen. Not even queen, jack, jack 10, king, queen, queen 10.
2100s coming in now. 2100s, he calls with a queen.
Or jack.
2100. Jam and call gin, says Cash Gap. I like that.
2100.
1400 gives him a good price to call with a queen, says that spot.
700 and I'm probably not gonna go 7. If I'm gonna bet, it's gonna be 14. Feels good to me. Feels weird to open up the action in position. I usually just want to go at least 40 to 50% when I do open up the position on rivers. But maybe there is merit to go in 700, but probably checking a lot. I can see 1400 if I am betting, though, personally. What do you guys think?
I think, I mean, I might be leaving value on the table, but kind of my opinion, he bets the turn small. I kind of read it the same way Jay Little did. I think that it's a marginal made hand a lot of the time. I think it's like king queen. I think it's Jack X, whatever, that's just trying to get to showdown for cheap. I don't know if those hands are calling 1400s over half pot. A flush got there on the river. So is king queen with the king of spades gonna call the 1400? It's kind of a lot. 700, I think they have to call. Like if they, I really, really like these small bets. And I mean, it's whatever, it's 700 chips. It's still 4.5 big blinds, you know what I mean? Or it's almost 5. Yeah, it's like 4.5 big blinds still that we just get here. Yeah, when he check jams, it's weird, but who is check jamming? Like, what is he check jamming here when he bets turn and then checks? I just don't think that he's gonna check raise almost.
Probably
ever.
Not good enough to do it with king queen to spades.
Yeah, I mean, if
he's never, he's only gonna call it.
You just bet. The other thing is, I don't think he's betting flush draws to that sizing on the turn. Kind of what Jay Little said. I think if you're gonna bet a flush draw on that turn, if you're gonna turn a flush draw there, I think you just want to go bigger because you want to do that with your whatever, with your ace jack, you want to go bigger than what he did. This seems more like it's like a little kind of blockery. Let's get to the river cheap. And he's continuing to tell me that story by checking the river here. So I think I just go 700. If he has ace 10, of course, I'm going to get looked up and I lose, but I'm value betting 700 here personally.
It's funny. Jay Little does do that because he did that in a couple. He said live players just tend to just call here, especially in a smaller stakes. They don't check raise enough. And he said into some of the prior quizzes as well. I typically don't have this, especially online, to just go this small. I find I get a ton of value, sometimes sizing up a little bit more, but it does make a lot of sense. I just never use this. But I like it. I mean, I like
it like, again, it's going to be villain dependent. Like what Melissa just said is absolutely right. If it's some station, or honestly, if it's a station, or even if it's like a good reg that might think I'm turning, King X with the King of Spades into like, I mean, we don't have that much offsuit King X that peels and wants to turn into a bluff or whatever. I mean, you can use like polarized sizings with a non-polarized range if you think that people are just going to look you up with,
right,
a jack. Or, if they're just going to look you up with Jack 10 here because you bomb it. But like nothing really missed, King 9 suited that we just peeled versus EP. Like nothing missed here.
Right.
Everything on the turn except maybe 10-9 suited. Like that's it. That's pretty much the only thing really that's not a made hand at all that we might have flatted pre that missed here. So it doesn't really make a ton of sense to go big and make it look polarized. So I just always go small.
I mean, we don't have a ton of things that float the turn either that have then bluffed the river.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
our turn calls usually have showdown, and we're just happy to check back. If we have King Jack here, right? We're just so happy to check. We're so happy to check back this river. We're not gonna turn this into a bluff and try to get a queen to fold.
Right.
So I just want to go small with the portion of my range that I bet.
Yeah, 700 is probably, he's just going to feel compelled to never, ever fold King Jack, any queen or anything like that. Very, very good points, man. That's why I love doing this. I learned something as well, and we all get a little bit better. So, yeah, hopefully.
Says, betting 2100, he's going to call with a queen. I think 2100 pushes out queen.
Yeah, not when the backdoor flush draw gets.
10-8's hero call. 10-8's a little marginal to peel pre-flop. Like we're not even cut off. Like we're hijack here. It's pretty thin to call pre-flop, so I don't think we really have that very much.
And even betting 1400, like, God, again, like Jsmith was
That's
saying,
we don't have
any bluffs, right? So like,
what is 40% in this spot?
Sticky.
What is? Let me see. What,
700 makes sense. I tend to miss thin value.
We go like 900, 1,000.
So I tend to check this back, but I can definitely see 700 being the right answer because I know.
Yeah, I'd probably go 1,000 in game or something. 950. Yeah. All right. What was Peanut doing again? I got lost. I think my dude's checking.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know what the hell our guy's doing either.
I know we went so in depth.
I forgot who it was Beats.
Who's in there? Peanut checked.
Beats is checking.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Peanut
checked.
Let's do it.
So now we have either a value bet or a check, depending on what you think of the opponent's strategy. It is very, very easy.
Good job, Peanut.
Checking a hand like Ace 10 here. And if he does have a hand like King Queen, he may actually check it and then fold to a bet. So if I am going to bet in this spot, I definitely want to go for a small size of 700 because we're trying to get called by some pretty marginal hands, right? I would definitely not go for a big sizing because if we go for a big sizing, that's going to result in the opponent probably playing perfectly or close to perfectly where he folds out stuff like King Queen and then always calls with an ace, which would be a disaster, right? So this is a spot where it's close, and I think in tournaments, in spots where it's close between value betting or checking, I almost always lean towards checking behind on the river because that makes it to where you never get check raise bluffed, right? Which is nice because you just face fewer difficult decisions. And also, even if you told me I was good here when I got called 55% of the time, I would still just check it behind because while I do have a deep stack here, I don't necessarily want to just be playing or putting, let's say, 2,100 chips in the pot with the idea of I lose this 45% of the time. It's just not worth the risk. You'd much rather slowly chip up in tournaments. And very often in the Soft World Series events, you can sidestep these relatively dicey spots altogether. Now, if you tell me I'm like 65% to be good when I bet the river and get called, then that's when we start going for the value bet. I mean, to be fair, I'll probably go for the value bet if I'm like 58% good in these scenarios, but not sure where we stand in this spot, and it's pretty easy for me to beat. So I think this is a pretty nice spot to just check behind. Does go check.
Wait a minute.
And he has Queen Jack of Diamonds, so I guess he got scared of the 7 of Spades on the river for some reason. I mean, I guess to be fair, when it was check on the flop, I would always call the turn with like King 9 of Spades or 10-9 of Spades. So I guess I could have those hands. And this time we checked it back and didn't lose any more money than we had to.
Woo! Cool.
Yeah, I mean,
38 for us.
What he said makes sense. I just think people are stations when you put in that small
I don't know
bet.
what 700 was. Did we Did everyone check? I wonder what.
Yeah, we
700
checked
was.
here.
I did 700. It was 8 points.
Yeah,
so
so
it was
8
super,
points.
it was
He
super
likes
close.
Close.
Yeah, he said it was his next best option. And yeah, you guys make a lot of good points on why it's good, and we get called way wider than we do with any other bet size when we go that small, and typically always just get called by worst single pair hands. So I like that.
I used to agree with Jay Little on that, and that in the close spots I was always checking, and I just in the stuff that I play, this might not hold true at higher stakes, but in the stuff that I play, I've just leaned toward always betting. Anytime it's close, I always bet, and I bet small a lot. And like I said, sometimes I'm leaving value on the table because I think my sizings are too small, in a lot of spots. Mm-hmm. But I definitely tend to just default to betting now in all the thin marginal spots, and it's amazing how much people will call you.
Yeah, I was actually thinking I think you're actually gaining value because I check Backless River a ton, and you're eking that little tiny 4 bigs over and over and over and over and over again.
And I'm betting 2 big, losing and getting some calls, but I like it.
Yeah, I think, like I said, it's
especially 55s and up.
When you pick up 4 or 5 big ones like that, it's along the lines of what he said. He said like it's really good to just slowly chip up in tournaments. I just think getting that 4 big blinds here against the portion of his range that's going to just check call, against the king queens and stuff is super super good. That's how you chip up slowly.
Right,
100% agree.
What did you get on that quiz, Tom? What's your
38.
we got a 32.
Oh.
Yeah, because we got that pre-flop. The pre-flop we went. He didn't like 1200
beats,
but he didn't even realize his like how shallow the guy was initially, like I did. So we got to read the stacks on the table.
Beats, you win it. Hit me up. You know what to do. I got time for one more. I don't know if you guys have time.
Well, it's 2:00. I probably got to bounce. I got to drive an hour. Going to a cabin today.
No worries.
Chill out in the woods. No phone. No social. Chill.
No worries. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. PokeCoach.com, study session stream, !PC in the chat. Get a link to the site for me, and you can do it in Six's chat and get it for him as well.
Yes.
Sign up for free. You get a bunch of quizzes, like you've seen, homework assignments, which we haven't even shown you yet, webinars, multiple webinars a week, big blind charts, all that good stuff. So make sure you sign up for that. If you've enjoyed this one or any one we've done in the past, you can catch them all on the YouTube channel and watch them back and let me know if you have any questions. I will make sure they get answered. Make sure you follow my main man Sixes and follow myself as well. You can follow Jsmith82. He streams like 3 times a year. And follow him on social media for sure. !guest in the chat. So you can follow him on Twitter. He's much more active there. And that's it, man. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. Both Sixes and I playing the big Sunday stuff on stream.
One thing.
Monday playing the home game. What's up?
I am 1 follow away from 6K, so somebody hit that follow button one time.
Sixes, should I follow you?
Yeah, you son of a...
I guess I can follow him too.
Y'all know the best thing ever is when you're watching somebody for like 2 years or whatever, and then all of a sudden you realize you're not following them. But you can't click the button because it's gonna pop up for him. You gotta wait till like
do it all stream.
You gotta wait till like 4 a.m. and click that follow button.
So
hit him with the stealth follow.
Right.
I had one guy who was upset because he's one of my first followers, and he was trying to show someone what to do, so he unfollowed and refollowed, and it redoes your count. He was all heartbroken.
Hey, there it is, Ryan Smith. Thank you for that follow.
Hey, he made it. Congratulations
on the nose. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for all the kind words in the chat there. A lot of good comments about great session. Guys, make sure you tune in. We do this every weekend. We'll be back next Saturday, noon Eastern as well. Justin Price says, playing the 109 PKO, 125 guarantee on ACR today, Toe? No. Toe don't plow. Oh, it's PKO, not plow. 109, 120. Maybe. I gotta see how pissed off the wife will be.
Maybe.
I'm sick though. I'll reg up at 7:30 in the morning if I feel the itch. But so that's it. Make sure you follow, and thanks for hanging out with us, Jay Smith. It was great having you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's good seeing you as usual, and you brought a lot to the table, man. I think we all learned a little something and got a little better, so we really appreciate that. Get that man to follow, man. Funny guy, cool as fuck, smart as hell, and he crushes. So
and he's
check
the
him out.
Best Jared in the game.
Yeah, with the correctly spelled Jared.
Oh, there you go. See, the battle continues. We haven't decided which one's the evil twin and which one's the good twin yet. Cool. That's all we got. Who you want to host, Sixes?
I have no idea who's even out there. Do you see anyone? Is Evan out there, or
don't see
any
Evan.
poker coaching? Poker Bras is obviously out there. There's, yeah, I mean he supports. Yeah, let's do Poker Bras. Let's hook him up.
All
cool.
Right. Make sure you check Poker Bras out and catch you tomorrow. Peace.
Take care, guys. Poker Bras. Boom.